Hi guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. Now it is Monday, because when else would we start a reading vlog for the week? Oh no, unless it's a Monday. So I've just filmed my TBR for the month, so we'll pop those books away in a minute. And updates. On Friday when I left the last vlog, I just finished Later by Stephen King. And then I picked up, off camera, On the Come Up by Angie Thomas and proceeded to finish that yesterday. I gave it 5 stars and I'll speak more about that in the wrap up that I'll film some soon. The current book is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and I don't feel like I need to tell anybody about this book, but this is from what I understand because I am 60 pages in on chapter 5. So this is set in a futuristic London where clairvoyancy is real, but it is illegal. Our main character Paige is a particularly powerful clairvoyant, but she can't let anybody know because obviously she would be illegal and executed for treason. So she's been working as a molisher in a sort of psychic mob for the area, but her father works for the Scion who are in charge, and obviously she still lives with him. But at the start of the book she is captured and So she is captured and taken to Oxford, which is a bit of an urban legend in this world, and that's pretty much where I got up to, and I don't really want to go any further for spoilers, but I am really enjoying the writing. I have heard that, obviously I think this was a debut, so there is a little bit of niggly bits for some people, and it does seem to, and I have heard that it is more telly than showy, but at the start I don't mind that when you are getting a lot of history, backstory. You need to know how these worlds work, and sometimes for fantasy, especially when it is going to be a longer series, because I believe there is 3 or 4 in this book, in this series out now, so it does need the setup, and the best way I feel to do that is to get that out in the open from the start. And if that's an info dump, it's an info dump, but it is a really engrossing read. So that's my plans for this week, to finally finish this. Again, if I finish it by the end of the month, I finish it. If I don't, I'll just carry it on into June, because I do have some, I think some of these books are middle grade. I'm just looking at them now, so my camera is flashing and I'm going to go now. Hi guys, and so it's now Tuesday, and as you'll have seen from the footage that I got just before, I've been making my way through The Bone Season, and as you can probably tell because I'm updating you twice in one day, I finished it. I gave it 4 stars. There were a couple of things about the characters and the writing that kind of pulled me out of the story a little bit, so I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, which is a shame. But because it came out at, I'm just checking on Corpile, but because it came out at 4 stars, and I think it's quite a high 4 stars as well, I will be continuing on with the series. Yes, I'm in my pyjamas, and yes, I have a very fluffy blanket around me. So I feel like you don't need me to tell you what this one's about, especially with Bonathon that was happening. Was it last year or the year before? Either way, this is a pretty popular adult fantasy series following Paige, who is an illegal clairvoyant, and it's following what she gets up two. This first book, obviously, it's setting the... I feel like I need to hold it up here or something. I'm going to put it down. But this first book is obviously setting up the worlds, both where the real London, where Paige is from and where she spends most of her time, and then the place where she gets transported to, and obviously we learn about that. We learn about the clairvoyance as a whole, and then we learn about each individual one. There was a couple of deaths in this, and I didn't feel anything for the dead people. I mean, I was sad that they died, but I wasn't absolutely devastated, which is usually a bad sign. It means it automatically means that the book won't get 5 stars, because for me, a 5-star book is a book that gets a reaction out of me at any point in the series or the book, whether it's at the beginning, at the middle. Most often it's usually at the end. Because by then I feel like I know these characters, and when bad things happen, they get to me in a 5-star book. This didn't have that feeling, but it was still really enjoyable. I did give it an 8 for enjoyment, and now I have a bit of a dilemma. It's only the 25th of May today, and obviously there are 31 days in May, so I still have 6 days left of this month. However, I have not only finished my TBR for the month, but I have read a couple of extra books that weren't in the video. So I don't want to start my June TBR, because knowing how much I've been reading at the moment, I will probably finish a good couple of books, because some of them I'm looking at it in the corner there, and by the time you see this video, the TBR video will be out, so you'll know that some of these books are fairly short, especially when you've just read a 500-odd page book. Anyway, so tonight I think I'll probably just work on the knitting, which is just over there, just out of sight. Probably work on that, and then just watch some telly. I know, watching telly on a school night, that never happens, because as you know, I like to read while putting a YouTube vlog, a booktube vlog on in the background, because I can tune in and out. But with this, because it's knitting, at least the pattern I'm using doesn't really take much brain power, I can concentrate a little bit more on TV, and I don't actually know what to do. So I'm going to end this vlog update now, and then come back to you probably tomorrow when I've decided on what I'm going to do. Probably will read another book. I do have a couple of short-ish ones that probably, I'm looking at the shelf now, that probably won't take me too long to read. So yeah, I'll come back to you when I decide what I'm reading, but that'll be tomorrow. So that's me signing off for tonight. So, as you'll have probably seen from the B-roll, sort of time-lapse if I've kept it in, I've been working on my final essay for the year at university. If anybody's interested, I am studying English language and creative writing with the Open University, which is like a distance-based university. Brilliant during COVID times, but anyway, I've just submitted my end of module assignment. That was due on the 1st of June. Just did it. And now I just have to wait and pray that I've done enough to pass, which, if I'm not. If I have, I have. If I haven't, well, we'll find out what happens if I don't. So I did that. I'm still not going to start my June TBR just because I've still got like just under a week left, and I know I'll have finished at least one book, especially with the way my reading's going. So I've had this book for a while. It still has the sticker on it, so we'll quickly take that off. But it has coffee stain on it. Why? Oh, tea stain. Why? Anyway, but this is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. And I've heard good things about it. It's going to be a quick read that, you know, has some inspirational quotes, and it just looks so pretty. And look at the end papers. It has music and a little loge. Look at it. So I'll probably get this finished within a couple of hours. So I'll probably just come back to you when I've read it and let you know what I think. Okay, so this may be my new favourite book. Not because it's adventure packed or there isn't even a plot to it. It is just the boy, the mole, the fox and the horse meeting and having a chat, but there are parts of it, especially when they meet the horse, that really spoke to me. Last year I did have some mental health problems, and this book reminds me that it's just so beautiful, and some of the things that the horse says, it just really, I could really do with hearing them sometimes. And horses are so gentle creatures anyway that it's just so perfect to come from this creature. So this is one of the pieces that spoke to me, because I was in a mental state where everything was doom and gloom. Much better now. But I think this is going to be a book that if I feel myself starting to slip, or if I notice anybody that I know is struggling a little bit, I think this will be the book that I get, that they get recommended, or if I trust them, they'll get the book to borrow and flip through for as often and as long as they need it, because it is full of just little infamy, little sayings. One of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things. The mole is so the mole is funny. He's obsessed with cake, and it's the art and just everything about it is beautiful, and it's just so clean. Normally, this part, you'll probably see in the B-roll if I've kept it in, that I did get a bit emotional, and it's when they meet the horse. When the horse is saying that crying isn't a weakness, when I've dared show any weakness, it's the strongest, bravest thing I've ever said is help, and asking for help isn't giving up. It's refusing to give up. Oh, I'm going again. But this is what I needed to hear, and I will be returning to this book if I need to, or if I'm having a bad day, or if I know anybody who is struggling. I think I might recommend this to them. So this gets 5 stars even, and I'm going to put it in the core pile spreadsheet, but I'm not going to rate it, because I don't think it's fair to rate this book as a fiction book when it's not a story as such. It's a series of little drawings, and beautiful drawings, some in colour, some just like sketches. So it gets 5 stars purely because it hit me in the feels, and I'm going to stop talking about it now because I will cry. Good tears, happy tears, and I'm glad I eventually got to this one, because I think I was putting it off because of how hyped it was. But it's so beautiful. It's a shame my copy got a bit tea stained, but nothing's perfect, and there's actually a picture in here that proves that point. This one, the greatest illusion, said the Moon, is that life should be perfect. And the dot and her, I think Charlie's a girl, but I'm not sure. But the author's dog walked over the drawing, clearly trying to make the point, which is perfect. But yeah, knitting update while I'm here. I finished the square I was working on. It did turn out to be a little bit smaller than the others, but that's fine. I can just do some more knitting to make that side up. And I've started on a new square, so I'll probably do that for a bit until I get bored and then choose a book. Now, I have said I'm not going to read any of my June TBR, but I can still start any books that I start now, because I have an idea. Any books that I start now can carry over into June, because I'm going to follow the theme. Excuse me. I can tell you the theme because the TBR video will be up on the Friday, and the vlog is up on the Monday. And my theme for June is reading the books that were sent to me from a subscription box. So I explained this all in the video, but if you haven't seen it, I have three bookish subscription boxes that I subscribe to. I pay for them all myself. I have Fairy Loot, Illumicrate and Bookbox Club. And the books, because I get at least 3 a month from each, one from each book box, where Bookbox and Bookbox Club do occasionally do double books. So they have been piling up. I have this stack here, this book, and obviously this book are not subscription books, but these ones are. There's my TBR cart, which you'll have seen in the video and in previous clips, I believe, which currently has most of them on. There's probably a couple more dotted around, but I know I definitely have 3 in my haul, which, depending on how I'm feeling, may get read this month as well. So I'm probably going to start with this one here, because it's so shiny and it's screaming at me, and that is the Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. Now, what I remember of this one isn't a lot, but look at he's signed. I think this is an Illumicrate one, but this is in regards to this city. It's a sort of magic Les Mis retelling. City's wretched formed 9 guilds: thieves, beggars, assassins, gamblers, mercenaries, smugglers, prostitutes, opium eaters, and men of letters. And 1828, citizens of Paris still mourn in the wake of their failed rebellion. Among them, in the dark alleys, crumbling cathedrals, most wretched have gathered into the guilds. They're known as the Court of Miracles. Eponine, also her father Thénardier, and if you've seen the musical or read the book, you'll know that Madame Thénardier and Monsieur Thénardier are Eponine's parents, and they took in, what's her name? Is it Eponine? Yeah, Eponine. So who's Cosette? That's it. They take in Cosette, and all manner of things happen there. But but her sister gets sold to the Guild of Flesh, and Eponine makes a promise to try and get her sister back, so she's going to infiltrate at the Court of Miracles. Eponine becomes a thief, finding a place among them and meeting Cosette. Okay, so Eponine has another sister who's sold, and then Cosette seems to be her friend. But Eponine has never forgotten the promise she made, and if she has to have any hope of saving one sister, she'll have to betray the other. Okay, so this is a beautiful reimagining of Les Miserables, telling the story of favourite characters and what might have happened if the French Revolution had not come to pass. Let's have oh, shiny. Oh, I do love some foil. So this, and just stare at the, and Kester Grant is British Mauritian. That's cool. Anyway, so I got distracted by the pretty author and the pretty foil. But this was only meant to be a quick update, and I have rambled on for at least 10 minutes. I have no idea how long this vlog is going to be, and it's only Wednesday. Yay! So I'm going to go, and excuse the drugged look, I've just finished a 3,000 word essay and nearly burst into tears at a picture of a horse. And now I'm going to possibly just stare at how pretty this cover is for the next 5 minutes. So I'll see you when I've started this one. Hi guys, it's now Thursday and I'm checking in with this beautifully shiny book to let you know what I think of it. I'm currently on page 63, which I'm just about to start in chapter 6, which is start of part 2. This book is set in 4 parts, and within the start of each part we have a quote. The first 2 quotes have been from the Jungle Book, and each part is a year, and then there's also, it looks like a newspaper article in the start of the first part, and then the first part of the story from the start of the second part is like a little fable, and they all seem to be by the dead lord, who we don't know yet, but I'm guessing he's going to be important. And this story sort of starts off running within like the first part. We meet Nina, or Eponine, Nina as she's called. We meet her sister Zelma, or Zell, and within like the first chapter, you see that Zelly is being sold to the House of Flesh, which prostitutes, by her father, and her father seems to be a bit of a thief. That he's known as the House. Is he known as the House of Beasts, or is he to do with He's to do with the House of Beasts, and he keeps all of the they all have different names. So you have your dogs, which are your beggars in this guild, and then Nina is told that she needs to be a cat, which is a bit of a thief. She steals some jewels from a boy in some guarded house. She's not told then, but as she later learns within like the end of the chapter or so, that was the duffer, the crowned prince, and she kisses him because she wants to cause a confusion and whatnot. But I am enjoying it so far, and I just still can't get over how pretty this cover is. So as it's Thursday, I have packed for the weekend. As you know, I go to my boyfriend's house at the weekend. He sometimes picks me up on Fridays, but most likely he'll pick me up on Saturday. That's the way we've been going at the moment, and that's fine. But I actually wanted to talk to you about some tag videos. So, because I am a stationery addict, I've got this notebook from either Illumicrate or Fairy Loot, and it's just inspired by Winter Song, and I'm going to use this as a sort of review book starting in June. So depending on when I finish Court of Miracles, it might be the first book in this gorgeous notepad. The only thing I don't like is that it isn't lined, but anyway. Then we have this cute little notepad, which is Peter Pan inspired. What's cool about this one is at the front you actually have some pages of the Ladybird books. It's at the back as well. And then in the middle it's paper. Again, a little bit not that it's plain, but you know, it was a present and it's in decent size and it's cute. My sister's actually got me a couple of these. I might show you my stationery collection if anybody's interested. But for this one I'm going to use it for tag videos. I have two at the moment I want to try. We have the 20 questions book tag, and created by Max at Max Reads, and the reading habits tag created by Ariel at Ariel Bissett. And what I'm doing is I'm just looking at the tag, see if it's one I'm interested in, writing the questions down, where I found it and who created it, if that information is there. If I get tagged in any videos as well, I'll pop it on the list. And then I've got a list of videos if I'm ever stuck, because tags are quite easy to fill. I might just never have any that I want to do. So if anybody knows of any tags that they'd like me to do, comment down below the video that you found it on, the name of the tag or the creator of the tag, and then I'll check it out, pop the questions in the book, and then hopefully get round to it. And then I also have my bullet journal, which is quite plain and boring, and the camera's flashing, so I'm going to make this one short and sweet and just stick it on charge and then come back to you tomorrow, unless something interesting happens in the book, or something interesting happens and I won't tell you about it. Hi guys, so we've made it to Friday, whoop, whoop. And I have just finished my 13th book of the month, and this is so shiny. I still can't get over how shiny this is, but it is The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. It was an Illumicrate book, so it counts for the challenge that I'm giving myself for June, even though this is still technically May, but we'll just go with it. I did give it 4 stars. The characters, the only person we really got to know was Nina, who was a bit badass, but she had the bad light, but she had a bit of a I'm not like other girls kind of trope going on. And yes, Kester Grant this was her debut, so we're going to just let that slide. But I didn't really feel anything for anyone else, didn't really get to know anyone, even the named characters who have the same name and role as the originals, because this is a Les Mis retelling. I didn't really feel anything for that. There was a part that was almost a direct retelling of something that happens in Les Mis, especially down to the line. I don't want to give spoilers, but if I say the rain, you'll probably know what I mean. But that was gender flipped. And I did like how Javert was a woman in this, and although I did think that the interaction between Javert and Valjean was a little bit, yeah, it didn't really sit right, but it was a good book. The writing was okay for a debut. It wasn't overly flowery, it wasn't too simple. It did hit the mark for me personally, but there was just a couple of bits that didn't really sit right. If 1,000 men were trying to get someone out of a prison and couldn't do it, what makes them think a teenage girl can do it on her own? And what is going on with the light? But yeah, so rant over. I'm just going to put the issues that I have with this book down to it being a debut author. But 13 books this month, and we've still got 3 days left because it's only Friday. Yeah, we've got Saturday, which I probably won't be reading much anyway because I'll be at Sean's, but then again the match is on. I might sit in the bath and read. But yeah, we have Saturday, Sunday. Again, not sure if I'll be reading anything at all on Sunday, and then Monday, which is bank holiday, so I have the day off. But I'll be at Sean's anyway. Yeah, and it is still quite early, so I'm not sure if I am going to read anything, but I'm just going to end this vlog here. So if you liked it, if you like this mess, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see this talk about those, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.